Today I'm going to talk to you about my costume, the Wasp costume that I'm doing. So I wanted to give you an update to show you what I have done so far. So since the last tutorial, a couple of things that I have added is the gray cord, silver cord here around the edging that I put in. Just like the Ant-Man costume that I did, it gives it a nice effect and breaks up the colors between that black and yellow. Another thing that I have done was I did a design here in the middle of the costume to kind of give it that wasp belly effect. And I used a couple of templates, so you just kind of remember, use some cardboard, make a template, and then you make your design. And you always want to cut it maybe a quarter inch higher than what your template is, so that gives you a little bit of a leeway to fold it down and do your stitching. And then the other template that I used was the larger one for the top here. So the design I made there for the top. And again, just make it a little bit bigger so that way you can tuck it. And just remember, when you're doing your curves, as you're tucking, you want to pin it and then start, turning it. So that way whenever you're stitching it to your pattern, it gives you your curve effect. As you can see here, I end up doing the curves around, and it doesn't leave it too boxy for you. And another thing that I did is use an LED strip lights that I bought on the internet, and it comes with a little battery pack. It takes 2 AA batteries, and so what it does is it'll glow. So what I did was use the here on my costume, you can tell, kind of get a little bit close in there. You can see I did button stitches on the corners, so as I threaded it through the material, the button stitch will let you cut the inside, so where when you make your hole, it doesn't keep raveling or keep tearing on your costume as you wear it and you stretch it. So it gives you a nice little stop there. So what I did was I kind of fed it through and did like a little zigzag effect going up. And then I outlined the top here and going around, and then it ends up coming off here to the side, and I made a little hole there on the side, and here's where my battery pack is. Now I'm going to be having a utility belt, and it's going to have some pockets in it, so it'll fit into my pocket, so that way you can't see where the actual remote is. One thing also I used, whenever you're putting the LED lights, as you can kind of see here, is the threading that I used is a clear, kind of a clear plastic thread. You can tell there. So, and it's actually, I think, a little bit stronger than regular thread. And so as you're looping it, and I did a hand stitch, as you can see, as I kind of hand stitched it around, so that way it let me get a better curve and go around my designs. And that way you're not poking it to mess up the light. And then also the thread also is, I think it's a little bit not as strong as this thread here, this plastic one. And it's see-through, which is awesome. So I end up hand stitching it around, and it gave me the ability to kind of turn it a lot more than I wanted. So that was good. The next thing that I did is the stitch that I did on the top here. There is a trick that I learned, or I should say that a good friend of mine, Jania Clark, had taught me. Whenever you're stitching kind of slippery material, so you can see when I was feeding it through the machine, it wasn't taking it. It just kept getting stuck in one spot, and it would just clog up with a big old knot of thread. So it wasn't letting me feed it. So what she showed me was, and I'm going to show you a trick here. So if you are sewing any slip material on both sides, what you can do is take tissue paper, and what you'll do is, let's say you just bend it over and you kind of crease it like that, so it's grabbing the bottom and the top. In the sewing machine, just feed it through the sewing machine and do your stitch, and it'll actually start stitching it. And then you just tear off the paper and take it away, and it leaves your stitch, which is a very cool trick to learn there. So Last thing I wanted to kind of show you is I'm going to turn off the lights here, and I'm going to show you how the LED lights glow up, and you can see the effect that it's going to have in the front. So I wanted to kind of show you that. And turn off the lights. So you can see how it gives it a little bit of a V effect going up, and then it gives it around that design that I had on the top. So I'm very pleased with how it came out. So the last thing I just need to do is kind of stitch up the back with a stretchy material that just kind of gives me more of a better fit, and then I'll start working on my wings. So definitely stay tuned. Subscribe to our channel so that way you can see our finished products. Thank you for watching.